Morning everyone. I'm going to start with showing you the flower that I'm going to have a go at painting with the watercolour medium. You can see that I've already done a bit of sketching and I've started to add some masking fluid, and the paper that I'm using is an Arches paper, Aquarelle. It's 300 GSM, so it's quite thick and it's hot pressed, and I often use 175 GSM for something this size. Now, I have been spending the morning fighting with my masking fluid because it's old, so I've got to get some more. So I'm just going to pour a little bit out and then start to put that in those white spaces to keep them white. What I've done is I've just put this in front of the fire to dry out. You don't have to have a fire, it's just cold at the moment. And then I've taken my brush over to the sink and given the masking fluid, trying to wash the masking fluid out of the brush with some warm soapy water. I often just keep one brush for the masking fluid because it tends to ruin the brushes. My brushes aren't very expensive, so it doesn't matter too much, but I just usually just keep one brush for the masking fluid. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take some of this permanent rose and create a really light wash. And I'm just going to give it a sample to make sure it's light enough. So now I'm going to take some permanent rose and I'm going to mix enough. And I'm going to put in some of those beautiful dark colours, but I'm going to leave some of those whites in the stalks as well. Oh, it's a bit scary, but that's okay, we can do it. We've just got to pay attention to the lights in the stalks here, because we've got to try and leave some of those. So what I did here was I put a swatch of colour, but then I actually wanted to make it more of a watercolour effect. So I put water down first, and then I'm going to put the colour into that so that it bleeds where I want it to go. Now I've actually skipped one because I don't want it to bleed into that one. I don't want it to bleed into them, so that's why I skipped that. So I'm going to take some paint, drop it in, watch that beautiful effect. I want to try and keep some of that white space there. I've got a nice dark area through here, and then I'm going to take some of that indigo blue and put in here, but I want to make sure that's dark enough. And I haven't got that set up, so that's not good. And then I'm going to do this beautiful big one. I've got colours. I'm going to put that wash down first. I'm going to try and keep some of that white just to make a little bit of definition there. And then I'm going to look for my pinks, my beautiful permanent rose colours. Let the water help me. I don't really want that edge, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some of those darks in here. transparency in here. And you can see this is probably my darkest space in here. And then from that, it'll still get dark as it gets further up, but I need to make sure it gets lighter as it gets further up, but still keeping it dark, if that makes sense. Well, that's dark. Get that off.